Greetings, this is Pastor Carlin Ayers here at First Lutheran in Pontiac. This is our Common Sense Theology, our Word of Hope for today. Hope you're doing well. I want to speak to you today about the little children. Suffer the little children to come unto me. Jesus says, He says, let the little children, the disciples told those little children, don't bother the master, he's too busy. Jesus says, I'm never too busy for the children. Bring them to me. I want to let you know something. Bring your children to the house of God. Bring them. I know it can be very hectic in the mornings trying to get them ready, especially if they're very young. I know it's hectic. I've had young children. I know. Well, you're better off to bring them to the house of God. And I'm going to tell you, don't worry about them crying or screaming in church. They do once in a while. But you know what? That is a healthy thing. We need to hear that in church. And if somebody gets upset about that, then you know what? They're in the wrong. Those kids need to be in the house of God. And they need to understand that little children sometimes cry, they sometimes make noise, they sometimes scream, they sometimes do things that we would prefer they don't do. But you know what? They're little children. We did the same thing. Suffer the little children because they need to grow into the kingdom of God, and they need to hear the gospel message. They need to be taught, and they need to learn the practice of this is what you do. You come to church on Sunday mornings. We have had too many people, for whatever reason, for many years have taught their children, you know what? Church is not that important. It's not that important. And they have shown them by not coming to the house of God. And then they wonder later on, well, why don't my children ever come to church when they've gotten older? Because you taught them and showed them. They follow examples. So we need to set the right example for them. You wonder why some children act up and carry on? Because that's the example that's been set for them. You wonder why some mouth off and cuss and carry on to authority and act up in class? Because they've seen that out of parents and others in their lives. They've not been taught correctly. We need to bring the children to Jesus and let them learn and grow in Him. Pray today that God would bless and keep